The countdown is well underway for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Today, fans finally have a chance to try and get tickets to one of the games that are hosted by Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. next summer. So, FIFA's Visa ticket presale draw will open later this morning and run until September 19th. But the process does not end there. To explain how all this is going to work, for the first round is John Molinaro. He's the founder of TFC Republic. John, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Okay, today is only the beginning of what seems to be a complicated process to get even one ticket. How do you get a ticket?
Yeah, so it is a long and arduous process. It's going to take a lot of luck for people to get tickets. So essentially today is the start of the initial phase. It's a lottery system that's only open to Visa card holders, and it runs through September 19th. If selected, people are going to have the opportunity to buy up to 40 tickets, no more than 4 per match for up to 10 matches in a specific time slot in October. And there's going to be about 1 million tickets that are going to be up for grabs during this initial phase for all the 104 matches. In the pre-sale, in this sort of initial pre-sale, fans can apply for tickets based on, a specific venue or city or a specific team that they want to watch. Important to know that, even though if you're selected in this initial draw, it doesn't guarantee you a ticket. All it does is guarantee you a time slot in October to buy a ticket on a first-come, first-served basis. And because this is a worldwide lottery, competition for tickets is going to be pretty fierce. And then after this initial phase, there's going to be a second lottery phase without a Visa card restriction in November and December. Again, giving people a chance to buy up to 40 tickets. And then there's going to be subsequent windows in 2 subsequent windows next year in the early part of the year when we'll know the full schedule of the World Cup where people can buy tickets. So, yeah, it's a long and arduous process. And as I said, fans are going to have to need a little bit of luck to get tickets because people from all over the world are competing for these tickets.
Well, this is what I want to talk about. We'll get to dynamic pricing in a minute because that is something that is new, and we'll talk about how it could potentially change things up. But can we talk pricing for a moment? What does pricing look like in the tiers?
Yeah, so we're talking about tickets anywhere from $83 on the cheap end to about $9,300 for the World Cup final. That's roughly about the price range. And of course, there's going to be FIFA is going to have its own resale platforms. So not unlike StubHub. So people will be able to sell and purchase tickets that way as well. So yeah, the ranges were from around $83 to about $9,300.
Okay, we talked about dynamic pricing. FIFA is going to implement it this time around. Why is this controversial?
Well, it's controversial because it's seen as a money grab, right? I mean, it's the prices change in real time, and depending on demand for supply and demand for a game. It's not like in the old days when you and I went to a concert or a sporting event when we paid $50 or $60, we knew that was the price. The price fluctuates entirely on demand, and this is controversial because it's seen as a money grab where, a worldwide event where everyone wants to see. And it's, obviously the fear is that it's going to price a lot of people out of going to this competition. And I think, some of the mayoral candidates in New York where the World Cup final is going to be held are even kind of speaking out about this and sort of criticizing FIFA for taking this approach.
Yeah, I mean, the dynamic pricing element is one thing. Let's talk about resale, because there is, as you mentioned, this authorized resale market for people. Like, let's say you get into this lottery and you end up with a ticket to a game that's in Mexico and you're not going to go to that game. You want to resell it. Who will buy the tickets or sell ones to matches that they don't go to? I mean, if you've bought at dynamic pricing, so you've already paid potentially more than you wanted to, means you've got to resell it for more just to make your cost back. I mean, I feel like this pricing is going to go haywire.
I think you're quite right. But again, I mean, it's sort of, you have to remember that this is, the World Cup is sort of the biggest, most sort of watched sporting event on the planet, much more than the Olympics. Yeah. People from all over the world want to attend these games. So, FIFA, I guess in their own mind see this as, a way to sort of, just sort of drive up prices and line their coffers even more. I mean, they're reported going to earn about $3 billion worth of ticket sales off this World Cup. So, FIFA, not surprisingly, have always been about the bottom line, and they're just thinking about their own end. So, I think that's a large part of it. Is just greed is behind all this.
I'm glad you said that, not me, John. So on Tuesday, our men's soccer team beat Wales 1-0. That came after another win against Romania last week. So what does that tell us about how Canada might fare in the World Cup next year?
Well, they're certainly trending in the right direction. I mean, previous to that game against Romania, they hadn't beaten a team from Europe on European soil since 2011. Mainly historically, Canada has sort of faced teams within the CONCACAF region, teams within North America and Central America. They haven't really played all that many sort of games against top European teams or top South American teams. That's sort of changed over the last couple of years. They're starting to play these top sort of tier nations a little bit more, and they're getting results now. So I think that bodes really well because, in the World Cup, they're going to have to face, the best teams from Europe, the best teams from South America, the best teams from Asia. So the fact that they're competitive now against these nations, I think it potentially sets them up for success because it's essentially replicating the experience and the caliber of opponents that they're going to face next year when they host the World Cup.
John, are you going to try and wade in and bid on tickets? Do you have like 5 devices on the go?
Well, as a reporter, I don't have to go through the process. So I'm going to have like a media pass. So thank God I don't have to go through the lottery process.
We'll have to sit back and watch. Always great to talk to you, John. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome anytime.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.